in the factors that you're trying to fucking
No, but
slip away from.
those factors have nothing to do with it.
All right, so
The
tell me
factors actually have nothing to do.
in virtue of
Wait,
what,
so
in virtue of what would you say that the lawsuit? Yeah, go for it.
I'm trying to explain myself because I think you're missing it. So
Yeah.
like the factors actually have nothing to do with my assessment of whether it's not, because as I said, I don't see like a moral, like I think the bringing of like the not the action of bringing the lawsuit, but
the action of
bringing of the lawsuit,
right? That's
the bringing of the lawsuit
bad.
itself is morally neutral. Like almost no matter what. Like I'm
almost no matter what. Whoa! Almost no matter what, or no matter what.
I'm saying almost. I'm hedging. Maybe there's a situation where I can imagine it, but
such as the one that I just described?
Usually it would come down to whether it's not meritorious.
I'm not asking usually. Sure, I'm not asking usually. I'm asking, and this is why people hate clarity. I'll be clear. I got your ass because I got your ass. That's why, because I got your fucking ass. So this is yeah, because I got your ass.
I don't think you did because I baked that in, right? So as I was explaining, right, like the reason I said almost wasn't like it was literally to say, just to preempt, maybe there's a situation I'm not considering that would do it, but I think
let's take the situation right now.
As I'm imagining it in my head right now.
Let's just take the situation right now. Let's take so morally.
No, but I think the questions you're getting at aren't getting to
the lawsuit is fucking worthless. It's just a declaratory judgment for something everyone already knows, but it's meritorious.
Yeah, but the consequences have no bearing on my decision on this. So I don't know why that shouldn't change anything.
Right.
The consequences have no bearing. We already established that. I'll bite the bullet.
Wait, no,
but that has no bearing on it.
I just want to hear you accept that. So the guy who wait, no, not in the way, not really. So the guy comes up to you, and he's like, this lawsuit, which is useless. Everyone knows I own the copyright here. It would be meritorious. There was infringement. It's just a declaratory judgment here. It would be meritorious. It would do nothing. It wouldn't, materially affect her money or anything. But we just know that she's going to end her life because of it. He's like, do you have an opinion about whether I should file this thing? And you're like, no, I don't have an opinion about it.
No, but that was never my.
No.
I think you're misunderstanding.
What would you say? Okay. What would you say? What would you say to that person?
I would say no. Don't do it. I don't know. Pisco, I've already told you this multiple times. I said this before you even got into this line of questioning. I already said it because I laid out myself when I was explaining it. If I was asked, I would say no, right?
In virtue of what should he not file it?
Because I think they're bad for all the reasons you think. No. I think he's a bad guy, but that's not the distinction that I'm making. You're misunderstanding the distinction, Pisco.
Stop trying to just stop resisting. Right? Stop it. Okay? Stop. So just listen to what I'm saying. So you would say that filing the lawsuit in that context would be bad. He ought not file it, right?
Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, it is possible. Wait. So it is possible, on your view, not my view, on your view, that a filing a lawsuit can be bad.
You're not understanding this.
Can you answer that? No. Can you just answer that?
Whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you said
you're saying,
but
I'm making a distinction that you're not making.
When you said, well, to get to your distinction in a second. But so when you said that I will never claim as bad a lawsuit which is legally meritorious, that wasn't true. There are situations in which that you would say so, and I just provided one, right?
DGGL.
Where I would say what exactly? Sorry, repeat it.
Where you would condemn, in other words, say it's bad. In other words, say you ought not file a lawsuit. Okay. So what is this distinction that you're trying to say?
I'm trying to explain that, but you keep like asking irrelevant questions, in my opinion, right? Because I granted earlier that I think Ethan's should not have he has bad reasons, should not have done it on that level. But I'm making a distinction. I said I preempted literally all this line of questioning because whenever I was laying out my POV or my opinion on this, I explicitly laid out, if the guy asked me should I do this or not, I would tell him no, right? So but that's a distinction. I'm making a distinction you're not making it, or you're not understanding, or whatever. And maybe you think it's a stupid distinction to make. It's a very pedantic distinction.
Say the distinction. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Just say it.
I know you're not. That's what I'm explaining, Pisco, right?
Just say it.
I don't understand.
I'm explaining that you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, right?
Say what it is. Say what
the distinction is.
Saying, dude, why are you asking this? Why are you asking this? It's actually not getting at all the
distinction.
Just say it. I tried to say it, Clemen, so shut the fuck up, maybe. I'm just trying to get Pisco to understand why I'm saying the things I am saying.
You're trying to explain it. Just explain it.
I agree, Pisco, but I don't know if you agree with that position. But okay, I'll go ahead. For me, the lawsuit, it's like the actual filing of the lawsuit itself, asking for declaratory judgment, asking for somebody to be in financial ruin, asking for somebody to kill himself, whatever the fuck. That action in itself is morally neutral because I don't put a moral judgment on that part. The moral judgment for me is on the actor, right, or on the person who's like, yeah, dude. If they ask me, no, no, you shouldn't do it because this is a really bad thing to do. Like because of all these bad reasons that you want to do it. Like you want to do it just because they want them to kill themselves. Yeah, that's really bad, dude. But that's I'm just making it. I don't know how to explain it. I think Cleveland understood it entirely earlier.
I'm gonna ask you.
You understood it already, Cleveland. So I don't know why you're asking.
No. I didn't understand at all. But let him ask.
How can it be that it's morally neutral and a bad thing to do? What do you mean by bad thing to do?
Is it bad to like I don't know. I'm trying to find an analogy that works.
To file a lawsuit with bad motive? You tell me.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think.
How are you using bad there? How are you using bad?
Well, that one's very easy. Is there like a bad motive to bring a lawsuit? Yeah, there can be hella bad motive.
You're not explaining how you're using bad. What does bad mean in that sentence, other than morally?
Well, is there disagreement about what the word bad means?
There can be. Yeah.
Are you that dumb to think that's a distinction?
I'm asking you.
No, it's not about that. Where the badness is being cast, right? Where the moral judgment is being cast.
Are you saying morally wrong? You said it is bad to do that.
Yeah. There was never disagreement. You're just not following because you're that stupid, man.
It's a clarifying question.
But it's not clarifying anything, Pisco, because we all mean that. You know, Pisco, that it's not disagreement.
Bad can mean legally non-meritorious.
Yeah. So what are you saying about bad?
But we're granting that it's meritorious, Pisco.
What?
That was always that was always part of the hypothetical baked in.
Okay, so does bad mean morally wrong?
So you agree that it can't mean that because
answer this question. Does bad mean morally wrong when you say it in that sentence?
So I'll answer. I'll go back to the earlier conversation. You were here for most of it.
And you just yes or no that. Yes or no that.
Yeah. So well, I'm not going to yes or no that because I'm going to explain and say however the fuck I want to say it. Right. I'm going to go back to the other way that I suggested Pisco should have said with Hutch, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it means. I think bad means morally wrong in this case. However, that has no bearing on the actual thing itself because I don't think that was ever in contention. That bad in this case would mean morally wrong. But the disagreement is where that moral judgment is cast and on what particular action or one part of the action.
Morally wrong.
Yeah, right, but that was never the contention, as Pisco said.
So if you bring a lawsuit,
yes. So it's a morally wrong action to do.
Sorry, you're just slow, so you didn't know that was always my belief.
So would it be wrong to bring the lawsuit?
Pisco, I don't know how else to get it would be bad yes, but that's not the distinction I'm making. Yes, but that's not the distinction I'm making.
Wait, I don't know what that means.
I know you don't know. I know you don't know. I know.
The distinction, so you're saying there's a...
I was going to get that, and then Cleveland started asking this stupid fucking retarded question. Sorry, Rule 2, but
what you're saying makes no sense.
Let me see if I can repeat it.
Yeah, you would think that, Cleveland. You're that slow.
So you're I understand moral fault to relate to certain actions or inactions and their requisite mental states. So in the context of a person considering filing a lawsuit and asking you whether he should file the lawsuit, you would say he should not in virtue of his either bad motive or the bad effects that would come about as a result of the lawsuit. Maybe there's a distinction there, but you would say that he ought not bring the lawsuit. And when you say he ought not bring the lawsuit, that's in terms of ethics, as was just explained. In which case, it just logically thought, wait, let me finish. It just is entailed that on your view, it would be wrong to bring the lawsuit. Regardless of why, it is wrong. Because wrong here just means what one ought not do.
Not regardless of why, right?
Do you understand wrong to